Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Roth. I'm a lead associate with Booz Allen Hamilton, and I'm SWE's Director of Professional Excellence. I'm here today to give this State of SWE. At every WELocal, we do this State of SWE to give members a little bit of look at the breadth of impact that we have at a society. We do a very broad overlook, a little bit of all of our programs. It will give you a sense of what else is out there available, but it also gives us the chance to thank you for everything that you do every day for SWE and being a member of this organization. So the first thing that we're going to look at is a governance update. We've enjoyed tremendous growth in the past 10 years, a testament that our mission is vital and women are ready for change in the world. For the past 5 years, we've been studying and carefully planning a governance restructure that will lead us into the future. We've grown probably about 400% in the past 10 years alone, and so it was time to get a really strong look at how we do business today, how we're going to do business tomorrow, and how we're going to support SWE members. This is just going to be a very short overview. I encourage you to come to the town hall meeting yet this afternoon or ask questions after this event if you have any input, questions, thoughts, ideas, any of that. So up here, all the different things that are going to be changing that's going to impact you. We have a lot of back-end things and structure going on as well. But first of all, and the most important things is elections. Elections are going to be completely competency-based. There won't have any geographic boundaries holding people back or anything like that. And along with that, collegiates are now going to have a voting right in the organization. Collegiates are equal members of this organization, and it's time that they had that vote and their voice in elections. The Senate was chartered to be a strategic body, but how we were doing business from a strategic planning perspective is we had that scattered across several different functions. All the strategic planning functions of the society are going to now collapse into the Senate and be part of that organization moving forward, along with a change on how the roles are laid out and what the expectations are. Committee chairs are going to be vetted for our standing committees like bylaws, audit, finance, critical functions of the society. Those chairs are going to be vetted now by the nominating committee and put forth to the board. And then section and member support. A lot of these functions that fall under section and member support should be familiar to you today. But what we're going to do is restructure those, make them function as a system. I'm a systems engineer. I love to talk about systems and how everything works together. We're going to make them function as a system together and then bolster them with additional resources. And so the LCC that you know today that does great things, we're giving them additional resources. You're going to have a sign coach in every section, and they're going to be able to come out and visit. HQ is going to have additional administrative support, and you're always going to have someone to go to help you with your section needs and your member support, no matter who you are or where you are. WELocal Conference. Welcome to our first WELocal in the Midwest. Thank you, everyone, for attending. We've rolled out the WELocal model to provide a consistent experience for members and our sponsors across the world. The first WELocals here in North America, we rolled out 2 last year, but now we have a total of 5 here in North America, and there's 2 yet to go this year. We're very excited to have a full complement of these conferences this year, and thank you for joining us, and please encourage your friends and colleagues around the world to attend the one nearest to them. Our additional global WELocals are in Pune and Prague. We've been doing conferences in these areas of the world for several years at this point in time, but now we've rolled them into the same WELocal model. They do have slightly different formats and expectations from our global partners with cultural differences, those kinds of things. We try to make different tweaks at every conference to make it fit for the environment that it's in, but at the end of the day, it's still WELocal. Next year's North American dates have been confirmed. Your closest conference next year is going to be in St. Louis, Missouri. And so we hope that you join next year in March 1st and 2nd. I expect to see cell phones coming out. I'm putting it on your calendars right now. An affinity group update for you. While SWE is a diversity-focused organization for women, that we recognize that not all women engineers are made alike. The affinity groups were created 10 years ago to enable those with other interests to find each other and connect, because we're all SWE and everyone belongs together in SWE. We're keeping a list of potential groups based on member feedback, and we'll be launching new ones as a critical mass of members are interested in supporting it. You're welcome to join any group to which you have an affinity, irregardless of actual affiliation. And just a couple other things to look forward to is the affinity groups do actually meet at WE conference, at the annual conferences. As there's interest, we can roll out additional events at the WELocals. We do recommend that if you have a group of people that are interested in starting a new affinity group, that you reach out to the director of membership for the society, and I can provide additional details on that if interested. But there was a luncheon, there was several informal meetups, there was breakfasts, and so keep a look on that during your conference rollout and see what one that you might be able to join and look for. The Corporate Partnership Council is our industry and government partners within the society. The CPC has actually been growing in the past several years, and all the employers from the industry and government sectors find SWE to be a valuable partner in our mission and go above and beyond normal corporate support to fund the research and program initiatives that make SWE the leading resource for women engineering. We appreciate their support and thank them for everything that they do. In the past year, we started a virtual career fair. We offer career fairs at the annual conference here at WELocal, but we understand that a lot of times it's hard to break away from your normal day-to-day responsibilities in order to go to an actual event for a career fair. So our career fairs have rolled out. There's several hours in time. Our next one is on May 9th, and it's focused on professionals that do have that difficulty breaking off or finding the time to leave work for several days to go to a career fair. We recommend that you make sure that you get your information in the career database that's constantly available to everyone, but our sponsors will be looking at that particular period in time for resumes, and you have a chance to actually check the box that you're interested in coming to the career fair, so they'll pull all those resumes to talk to. We started a new executive leadership program last year, and we did that because we recognized that a gap in the industry as a whole for mid and senior level career development. Where did you go? How did you do that? A lot of that was very focused on companies and how that they decided to do their leadership development. But if your company didn't offer those types of programs, then there wasn't a good one out in industry right now for that. So right now, we bounce this around to different parts of the world. It's not just a US based. Last year it was in Canada, and next year it's going to be in Singapore. If you're interested in that, please look up more information and talk about it to your colleagues who may also be looking for a gap there. It's a great example of how SWE is supporting our women engineers in those mid and senior career level stages. So SWE Advanced Learning Center 2.0. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, being the Director of Professional Excellence. One of the things that you noted whenever that you would log on to SWE.org or SWE Advance or one of our other websites is you had a constant issue with needing to relog back on, or you were getting a different view depending on which site that you were going to and what you wanted to do. So what we've done is we've done an infrastructure upgrade to both the SWE website, which I'll talk to a little bit later, with our association management, as well as our learning management system. It goes back to we grew so quickly that we just were putting pieces on as stopgaps, and now we're looking at that infrastructure. Now with the new Advanced 2.0 here, you'll know when you go in now, you're going to be able to log in once. You're going to be able to find all of your webinars in one place, and you're going to be able to track everything that you've done, and you're going to be able to track how you can grow as a SWE leader and through your career as well. Right now, there's over 90 on-demand webinars. We have e-learning modules that we've started to roll out, which are meant to complement in-person trainings. We have K through 12 outreach sessions. We have leadership content for you. and then also specialized content for groups such as Grad SWE and Women in Academia. As we roll into the future, now that we have the right infrastructure in place, we're going to be able to continue to add more content into these, expand to more modules, and accept content from our outside partners, which we're really excited about. Diversity and inclusion is becoming more important in the society as we continue to focus on making our society a warm and welcome community to all those that want to join us. The larger we grow, the more diverse that we find ourselves growing. As we continue to make progress as the world's largest advocate and catalyst for change for women in STEM, there should never be a member that doesn't see themselves as part of our organization. We are all SWE, and we will all rise together as one. We encourage you to use our diversity inclusion flashcards to have a conversation about diversity, both with your SWE sections, with other SWE members, and with our organizations. As a board, we've actually been stepping aside and taking part of every single one of our board telecons and board meetings to have a diversity and inclusion moment with each other. What have we observed in our careers? What have we observed in SWE? And how can we do better as a board? So we're doing it clear up to the top echelons of SWE, and we encourage you to do this as well. Constance in Nano. Constance in Nano is one of the many initiatives to reach K through 6 and show young girls how they can envision themselves not only as heroes, but also as future engineers. It's a very exciting partnership with United Technologies, and they continue to grow their adventures in the sky. Any kids or adults who love comics will love these stories about how engineering can help solve problems, avoid disaster, and make the world a better place. These are going to be available on Amazon starting in spring. Digital versions are already available online, so we recommend that you share those stories to those around you. Our SWE Next clubs are another way that we're expanding outside of just a collegiate and professional realm. SWE Next clubs are the newest way to get girls interested in engineering and connected on SWE. They're focused mainly on high schools, but clubs are popping up all over the world. All you need is a few girls, a supportive adult advocate, and we'll provide the rest of the resource. 5 years ago, this was just a vision. It was part of our strategic plan and part of the conversation on how we could expand beyond just what we do today and start earlier in child's lives to make an impact. And today, we have 114 clubs worldwide in less than 5 years, and over 5,000 students, parents, and educators that are part of that organization. Now, to give you a little bit of perspective, SWE itself is 40,000 members, and it took us 68 years to get to that level. So if we continue growing at 1,000 members a year, they're going to surpass us in no time flat. In the public policy realm, which is also part of that strategic plan, one of our biggest and most visible public policy events of the year is around our annual Congressional Visit Day. We're joined by over 30 other diversity and engineering organizations to make sure our U.S. elected officials understand the continued need for supportive STEM education and funding. Each year, it's amazing to see the support for this event grow. I personally was able to go last year for the first time. I visited the offices of 7 different senators and representatives. I may have been crossing the state lines a little bit in order to do that. And it's really empowering to walk into an office and have them ask you and say, you're the experts in this field. What is it that we need to do better? And that's what you can do as part of that advocacy, and you do it on the Hill every year. Last year, we had over 150 people with us. And I realized as I was prepping for this, some of my pictures actually ended up in this presentation. You can receive, even if you can't make it with us to Capitol Hill Day next week, actually, you can always text our public policy and get updates via text message as well. SWE swag. We were hearing for years that we needed to upgrade our SWE store and make sure that we had consistent material for our sections to be able to support them. So we can now do that through Amazon. You have a whole range of different branded items. They're doing surveys to see how they can expand out more material from there. And this is also where you get all your pins and your note cards, which I know is a big thing for the sections and what they're looking for. We have new affiliates across the globe. Our international members are typically part of affiliates. Sections is a US-based construct. And so as we start these new affiliates, you can see really the growth globally and how the concept of SWE is starting to take on in different areas of the world. We have 6 new affiliates, professional affiliates, as well as 5 new collegiate affiliates in the past year. And next time when you're at conference, members of these affiliates do come to our annual conference. If you can please make sure to reach out, tell them hello, and share stories of just how everything is different throughout the world and how you can bring back their stories and apply them to your career and to your SWE section. I said earlier that we were due for a refresh on our SWE.org website. When we put together the infrastructure for this website 5 years ago, it seems like a short period of time, but in the digital realm, it's actually a really long period of time. So mobile sessions have grown extensively in those past 5 years, and our current infrastructure doesn't support that. A lot of our websites are not integrated well through logins, through branding, through views. Search engine optimization, I think, is something I've heard a few people comment about that is not necessarily there. And then just navigation and a focus on security. We do hold private information for you as SWE members, and we need to take the next step in protecting that better. So just to kind of give you a sense of how much that we've grown, the original SWE website's in the center, but we've grown out in major areas all around that with different types of websites, different types of resources, those kinds of things. And the original infrastructure couldn't support the growth that we needed at the time, so we did what we had to do. But now all of that is going to combine back all under one heading and give you that unified view versus the view that you have currently of a little bit of everything. So just a timeline where you can see this. Basically, the one at the bottom is the important part. By WE18, you will have a new website and a new infrastructure. So speaking of WE17, just a little bit of a recap for everyone that was part of that. So total attendance was 14,796 people that took part in that conference in some fashion or another. We had over 1,000 girls and parents and educators that we impacted alone through Invent It, Build It. And we had 324 exhibiting employers. We have smashed records through every imaginable possible. I remember when I went to my first conference, there was maybe 2,000 people there, and that goes back to that mission of SWE and people reaching out and seeing value in that mission of SWE and wanting to do better. And so thank you all for taking part of that and being part of SWE every day and every year. The WE18 call for participation is out right now. It's called Let's Break Boundaries. We're really excited for that new campaign to come out locally nearby in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So again, I think I should see everyone putting the dates for next year's conference on their calendars right now since it's so close. And then the submission deadline is actually March 12th. So that's right around the corner. So if there was any last minute ideas, thoughts, anything like that that you wanted to throw in, you're in your final days, make sure that you get that in ASAP. And that kind of wraps up the rollout. I went through a lot of things very quickly, but again, the goal was to give you the breadth of everything that we have impact in as SWE members, whether it's in Capitol Hill or locally in your section every day, or at the annual conference in Pune, in Prague, everywhere around the world, people are starting to know what the Society of Women Engineers are, what they do, and they want to be part of it. So thank you to everyone in the room. Please enjoy the rest of your WELocal conference and go out there and be a proud woman engineer.